I went through topical steroid withdrawal 3 times, each time widely different but equally frustrating. Today I'm going to break down each of those experiences for you, and I'm going to let you know how I got addicted to steroids or how I was given steroids without my knowledge. So stay tuned because that could happen to you. Are you one of the few? This is the channel for you. My name is Victoria, and I am a 3-time survivor of topical steroid withdrawal. I am dedicated to providing valuable, applicable, relatable eczema content that provides emotional support with doused with a little bit of humor. We got to keep those cortisol levels down. But most importantly, I am not a doctor. I wish I was. This is not a place for diagnosing. It's a place for informing. So please always take this information with a grain of salt. Talk to your doctor for your medical care. A lot of people are terrified of topical steroid withdrawal. I did it not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I'm just gonna let you know if I think it's as scary as people make it seem. Will it spell the end of your social life forever? I've had eczema my entire life, and steroids were the first line of treatment for my eczema. You can watch that story here. And while steroids can work wondrously for some, eventually they stopped working for me. Today's video, I really want to share what all 3 experiences were like and perhaps debunk some myths along the way. So the TSW experience numero uno. I'm gonna call this the virgin experience, okay? Thumbs up to everyone who's been through TSW, please. I wanna know, thumbs up. Experience number 1. Perhaps I had been through a few mini TSW experiences up to this point. You know, you run out of your steroid cream and then like your skin starts blowing up. And then you get your cream, you're like, oh, all is better with my world. There was the time that I decided that it is done. It was the early winter of 2012. Got my notes here, so if I look here, that's why, okay? And my eczema was getting wildly out of control. I actually did, that's one of my very first videos. So if you wanna go watch that and then come back and see this, you can go see that video there. But just to make that long story shorter, I'm gonna talk about that right now. I came across this website called Eczema, and they are an organization that was dedicated, it still is, dedicated to bringing awareness about topical steroid withdrawal. And if you don't know, topical steroid withdrawal is basically just what happens when you stop using steroids and the process of your body getting addicted to steroid creams. Please also, if you are an anti-steroid or pro-steroid user, okay, we're not here to judge. We're just here to talk about what we went through, okay? I noticed there's so much controversy to take the drugs, not the drugs. I'm not here to judge anybody or to deal with any of that, okay? We're just here to make informed choices, and ultimately your quality of life is what's most important to me. So if you are like considering steroids, like, just take this with a grain of salt. It's just good to know. Before you start anything, it's good to know. So that's just a little caveat there. I quit my steroid creams, and within days, I was going through what we call the atmospheric shift. If you want to see my topical steroid withdrawal master class, she'll be out, okay? You can watch that. It's for free. I'll say I knew nothing about TSW at the time. There was no research or videos like this to kind of really help me. It was just a little forum. To be honest, that forum kept me alive. 3 years of hell later, I came out on the other end. The TSW is not an easy experience. You know, I went through the facial flares, I went through the body flares, the oozing, the sleepless nights, the insomnia, it's like everything. And it wasn't easy, but I don't know if it's because it was my first time and I had the support group. I got through. After all that, one would think I would never touch steroid creams again. Oh, and just to say, I came out of TSW with my eczema, okay? So my eczema was manageable. It was just a few patches here and there. It was not full-blown eczema anymore. I thought when I was done TSW, I would be eczema free, but I was not. So that's something I just want people to be aware of, because when I was going through TSW, it was just like, yeah, go through this, soldier it through, and then one day you're gonna have perfect skin. And like, I'm still waiting. You would think that after all of that, I wouldn't touch steroid creams again, but I did. This day, I kind of rack my brain trying to figure out, like, how did this happen? Like, why did this happen? I know I got out of the first time through a cream called the Queen Elizabeth's Cocoa Butter. So once I started using that, my skin started to, within a month or two, my skin started to improve drastically. Now, I didn't know, was it because of the cream or was it just because enough time had gone by? I'm not sure, but I just know that that cream changed its formulation, and then slowly my skin started to get bad again. And so I just thought to myself, well, maybe I could use little steroids here, little steroids there. Didn't hurt, right? And at first I felt like I had a good balance. As for people who want to use steroids, I do think that how I used my steroids this time is the reason why my second time going through TSW wasn't as bad as the first time. I kind of did like a 3 days on, 7 days off approach. Like I was using it sparingly. Like any drug addiction, eventually I did get to the point where I was using it every day, but that was maybe only at like for like a month or two, and then I was like, oh, what are you doing? Like, what are you really doing? What really stopped me was in January of 2018. I started to get a patch on my right here. And so I had been lucky that most of my eczema from that point had been from the neck down. When I was in TSW, I got the whole kit and caboodle, but after I kind of came out of those facial flares, most of it was on my arms, my hands, and my neck. That was like the main concerns. You know, sometimes I have my chest, my back, my inner thighs, but like the main issues was like those issues. Once it started hitting my face, I said, absolutely not. I'm not doing this face stuff. I need to stop the steroid creams. So I stopped. This takes me to situation or experience number 2. 2018, I get a little patch on my face. I said, okay, that's it. We're done. No more steroid creams. And so immediately I went into the atmospheric shift. Once again, I talk about that in my masterclass, TSW masterclass. You can check the description for that. And that's kind of basically when you start to feel, you can feel your body changing. You feel like something's about to blow up. The skin starts to like ooze. It's weird. You're wet. You're wondering why. You haven't even broken a sweat. You know, you can feel the inflammation. Your skin feels very sore. And so what I began to do is kind of look into things to help calm down my body. And one of the things that helped me greatly during this was the golden latte. So basically I'll put the recipe in the description, but it's basically turmeric, black pepper, and like you can use a milk substance of some kind that you can tolerate. Maybe it's like an oat milk, or if you don't have any issues with dairy, and you kind of whiz that up in a tea. You could even just boil it with water and drink that, maybe a little honey. And I drank that like every single day, like 3 times a day. So I would say that and like a really good diet really helped me not go into the full body version of TSW. That time it was just like, you know, my skin was worse. I had like the rashes. I, you know, was really dealing with this patch on my face. It's gone now, but I had a big patch here and you know, more rashes than usual, but it was definitely like nothing compared to the first time. I'll say that time I was like, okay, it's it. I'm done. We're not going to do steroid creams anymore. I don't want them. They're not helping me. My skin didn't get better. Even when I was using them, like for the second time, it's not like it was doing anything, you know? So I don't know what I was thinking, but I just went, I don't know. Honestly, guys, I don't know. I just used it again. Don't judge me, but I did it. So now here we are. Second time, I'm kind of easing out of it. I'm dealing with eczema at this point, okay? I just have, my skin looks worse than it looks now because I'm actually thriving with my skin right now. But, you know, if I have some pictures, I'll put them up. So I'm dealing with my eczema. I'm trying to eat a low sugar diet. You know, I did different things to manage my skin at the time. And I developed something called carpal tunnel syndrome. That's a whole other story. And so because of my carpal tunnel, I had to get surgery. My skin was doing okay. This is the summer of last year. My skin was okay last summer. I was trying a lot of things to like improve it, especially like a no sugar diet. And like, it was okay. So I go in for my surgery and I come out and I almost want to say instantly my inflammation went down. And I know when steroids are working, I know what that feels like. I know there is nothing like steroids or antibiotics to bring down inflammation. Like you just know. When it comes down too quickly, I'm gonna guess that either steroids or antibiotics were involved. Next day, my skin is now like really good. And I was like, dang, I wonder what they injected me with when I went in for the surgery. So I called the clinic and I said, just like out of curiosity, I remember them like numbing me, but like you don't really look, right? When your hand is being cut up open. And did you guys know that you actually are awake for carpal tunnel surgery? Yeah, that's a whole stressful that they did inject me with like a corticosteroid or, you know, some sort of steroid basically. And I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. And no word of a lie, guys, my skin was great for 3 days, and then I went into full-blown TSW again. I had it on my chest, I had it on my back. They gave me the cortisone, okay? They gave me the good stuff. And I have never been on prednisone. I've never taken oral steroids. I was just injected with one. So I literally went from 0 to 100, 100 to 0 within a span of 3 or 4 days. My skin was blowing up. Like I had it like under here, my chest, my legs, like I'm like, what is going on? Now, thanks be to the Lord in heaven, it was short-lived. Process, I learned that I am allergic to petrolatum. I also learned that I have a nut sensitivity. And so like, I really started honing in on my skincare diet, my skincare, and that helped a measure. My doctor saw me during that time, and she actually took one look at me and said, yeah, you need to get on Dupixent. And so I did get on Dupixent. If you're considering Dupixent, please watch that playlist or these videos. It's very helpful. I am no longer on Dupixent. I'm actually 10 weeks post my last Dupixent shot, and my skin and my eczema are still thriving. Those are my 3 separate topical steroid withdrawal experiences and how I'm alive to tell the story. To be honest, guys, the first time was probably the worst because I had no idea what I was entering into. The second time was not so bad. I really would say it's because of how I was eating, and just, I do think it's because I handled steroids a lot safer the second time than I did the first. And the last time I went through it, I really think it was really bad, but it was short-lived, probably because it was just one dose of the steroids one time. And I was also learning different products and things to help my skin. And if this helps a little, please share, like, subscribe. I know there's more than a few of us that have eczema. No warrior should be fighting eczema alone. Next time.